Hey everyone, it's Rob with Passport to the Parks, and today is Friday, and it's June the 26th. Got to check out my calendar here. And here we are, we're live again, 2 days in a row. How fun is that? But some pretty cool stuff going on right now. Well, I don't know if it's pretty cool, but there's definitely some stuff going on for Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Yesterday, we obviously got the news. I'm going to pull this one out of my ear because it kind of annoys me. But yesterday, we got the news that Splash Mountain was going to be rethemed over to The Princess and the Frog in both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, and that came to be kind of a shock to a lot of people. So we had a really nice live stream about that yesterday and had a good discussion, and I think a lot of good things have come out of that so far as people's feelings and emotions, and we'll see what happens as we go on into the future. If Disney will listen to those feelings and emotions, or they're going to move ahead. It looks like they're definitely moving ahead with their schedule, but we'll wait and see. That's my philosophy, is always wait and see to the final product and go from there. But basically today, they opened up the reservation system for annual pass holders to make your reservations to get into Walt Disney World, to the two theme parks that are opening on July 11th, which are the Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. So I was just curious to see how that went for everyone, if there were any issues, what you were able to get, and just kind of share those insights. I'll go through and show the process a little bit. I already booked my reservations, so I can't physically book another one, but I can walk you through the process if you haven't seen it yet and you're planning on doing that, if that might help. And then also, I want to talk a little bit about the park reopening itself and kind of everything that's happening in the southern states right now. Texas has decided that they are going to take a step back and do some reclosures and some slowing of opening of their businesses and things like that, because their numbers are steadily rising, rapidly rising actually. And Florida is also in that same boat right now. Our numbers down here for COVID are rapidly starting to rise. So it's of great concern down here. It's obviously great concern to me and my family, but everyone else in the state and anyone who's going to travel down here, especially for the parks getting ready to open. Obviously, we have SeaWorld and Universal Studios that is open right now, along with Disney Springs, and a handful of resorts are beginning to open as well. But I kind of wanted to dive into a little bit about that reopening and what your thoughts are as far as should they stay on the same timeline? Should they reopen? Should they delay it? Will you be going to the parks? Just what's your thoughts and feelings on that? So kind of the two major things that I wanted to cover today. But I see a lot of people coming on here, so let me back up a little bit. And I do want to apologize for delaying the stream. I was supposed to start it at 2 o'clock today, but I had some issues going on outside, and it has literally been like 100 degrees every day here in Florida, and was out there doing some work and just got, just had to cool off a little bit and take a break. And my foot actually got bit. If you've been down to Florida, if you live in Florida here, we have some of the nastiest ants and fire ants that you will find anywhere. And my right foot got devoured by some ants today. And my toe, especially my middle toe, is like swelling up. And it hurts and it's nasty. And I had to deal with that as well. So always a lot of fun. Kevin and Teresa, glad to see you as well. Awesome to always have you here. Kevin Osborne, thank you for being here. Hello. David, hello. G. Wilson, hello. P. Tier, thank you for being a moderator, and hello to you. Allie, good afternoon. How are you? David Incognito Mouse, what is up, party people? What is up with you, my friend? Mythical Beast 77, hey, from Texas. We're just talking about you in Texas as well. You're sort of in the same boat as Florida with what's happening, and it is no fun, I will tell you that. The Charger Principal, hey everyone. Tyler, welcome. Cape 6, welcome to you as well, and thank you for being a moderator, much appreciated. Dean, hello. Mythical Beast, Rob, when are we doing a channel vacation meet and greet? Well, probably not for a little while because, obviously one of the topics we're discussing here is, the parks reopening and the rising level of coronavirus that's happening down here in Florida. So as far as getting together for a meet and greet, I personally wouldn't plan anything like that anytime soon, but I'd love to do it. Obviously, we'd all love to get together and have fun together in the parks. The meet and greet that I had with the Skyliner was amazing. It was like one of the most fun times that I had, and I'd love to do something like that again for sure. Adrian, the Good Mouse hasn't extended pass holders expiration dates as it promised by the number of days the park was closed. That's kind of one of the things that I wanted to touch on. Let me say hello to just a couple more people here. Expedition Greg, thank you for being here, my friend. Been chatting with you all day. Thank you for being a moderator as well. Big Disney fan. Hey, everyone. Rick, definitely need to stop this phase 4 opening as we're only in phase 2 and spiraling down the toilet daily with COVID numbers. Kristen, happy Friday to you as well. Adrian, welcome. Sherry's Awesome Sunset Travels, great to have you here. I'll try to get to everybody else as we go on. But the one thing, let's see here. So extending the passes. I actually had to renew my pass last night because mine, get this, it actually expired on July the 10th. My wife and I's pass both expired on July the 10th, the day before the park actually opened. And we do the Florida resident payment plan that they have here. So it wasn't allowing me to do anything until I actually had to go and renew. But as far as the people who have paid outright for their passes, I know that they were going to extend that out further. So if they haven't done that yet, that is kind of a big deal because it doesn't give you the opportunity to make those reservations if they didn't extend it out far enough. So that's kind of a bummer to hear. I wish they would have corrected that. I'm not sure if anybody else had that issue or not. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, what they're supposed to do is, from what I remember, is if you paid in full and say your pass expired on June 10th, they were going to extend it further on the number of days that they were actually closed back to like March or whatever. They're going to extend your pass further out. So you get that benefit of having the pass for the entire time, which you paid for. Now, for the month-to-month people like me, they just stopped taking the payments, and that was that. So I'm not sure if they're doing anything else for us, but it didn't seem like it because I had to renew. Excuse me. Let's see here. Who else is coming on? Adrian, so you can't make a reservation via phone or online without the extended pass. So those are for the folks who haven't had their passes extended yet. So if you have a valid pass, you can do that. I don't know about doing it on phone. From what I've heard, the phones have just been treacherous. You get put on hold forever, and it's almost impossible to get through. I actually tried to make a couple calls to the annual pass holder line this morning, and it just kept saying these lines are busy, and it wouldn't even let me through. Everybody's saying hello to everyone. That is awesome. JW Dasso, thank you so much, my friend. $1.99 super chat. We lived in Texas, and I know fire ants. Ouch. Yes, they are the tiniest little creatures, and you would think that they would be harmless, but as soon as they get on you and they give you a bite, it is so painful, and you literally swell up. My toe swelled up. I had to put some ice on it, and it's like an awful experience. It's a painful experience, and I do not recommend it at all. If you haven't had that experience yet, try to avoid it as much as possible. Let's see. Greg is saying, I truly believe if we can be responsible and follow the rules and wear the masks and wash hands and sanitize our hands, we are going to be okay. For sure, it's always going to be a good point that, no matter what, if we take the more precautions to take, the better off we're going to be, for sure. I think Disney is taking the right steps, and we'll actually get into that as well. Some of the steps that Disney is taking. But we're kind of jumping ahead as far as the park openings. I wanted to touch on the reservation system first. So let's kind of get into that. So basically, what we had this morning was, and I was under the impression, I was a little bummed. At midnight last night, I started refreshing, thinking, okay, it's the 26th. They opened it for pass holders. I heard all these issues that they had for the resort guests, that there's all kinds of delays and it was taking hours to get reservations and things like that. So I was thinking to myself, right at midnight, I'm going to go on and start refreshing so I can really get a jump on this. Nothing's happening. I keep getting the screen that says you can't do anything. So I start looking around, and then I find, messages and stuff about, well, no, they're not opening at midnight. They're going to do it at 7 a.m. And from what I had found, everything was telling me 7 a.m. So I said, okay, we'll reconvene in the morning. So I set my alarm for like 6, get out of bed, come turn my computer on, do some things, and start looking and roll around about 7 o'clock, start into my reservations, and like everything is done until like the 15th taken. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So they, like all the resort guests and everything must have gotten this. And then I started looking at more stuff online, and I guess they opened it at like 6 a.m. this morning. So I don't know if it was 7 a.m. and they decided to open it earlier, or the information that I had got was incorrect. But the reservations that I landed up getting, you can see down here, are for Epcot on July 15th, then the Magic Kingdom on July 16th, and then I went ahead for Monday, July 20th at Disney's Hollywood Studios. My wife is actually going to be out of state for these first couple days, and I believe she comes back for the 20th, so I took them a few days out to try to get her to go as well. Hopefully that'll work out. But yeah, didn't get anything for July the 11th, which was kind of a bummer because I was really planning on doing that, and it just didn't happen. And I guess that's just part of it, part of the fun of trying to experience this. Let's see, Matthew Kind. Thank you so much, my friend. Another super chat from Matthew Kind. Always very generous. I appreciate that. And Incognito Mouse, $2 super chat. Got a call from Disney HR to return to work. Very, very cool. That is awesome. I know that they've been calling a lot of people back. I'm so happy. I've actually been following your channel as well. I know you've been anxious to get back to work, and I'm glad that you got that call to head back. I know that they're bringing a lot of cast members back, a lot of drivers, transportation, everything. So that is very cool. Maybe you can keep us in tune on, some of the practices that they're going to have as far as buses. We've seen pictures online, and seen some people riding the buses and stuff, and how they've separated things out with the seating. And I'll tell you, the buses have never looked cleaner to me. They look absolutely spotless on the inside, so they must have been doing some serious deep cleaning for sure. So anyways, if you didn't get a chance to do this and you're planning on doing it, or if you're watching this video trying to figure out a little information, basically you come to the Walt Disney World website, and you go up to your My Disney experience, you log in, and you go to My Plans, and it'll take you to the your plans. It'll say whoever's plans and tickets, and you should have this little box that says View Availability. If you click on that, maybe if I click on that, it will take you to the screen to where you can create your party, and it should show you everybody in your friends and family list. So let's say I would choose myself and my daughter to go. Click continue, and it will slowly take you to the site where you can choose the date that you want to go. So July 11th is the first day that the parks open. You can choose, as far out. I didn't try. Some people were saying that they were trying for things in October, and they weren't actually able to get anything in October. So I didn't personally try it. So I'm not sure if anybody else had those issues. Resort budgeting. Thank you so much. $4.99 super chat. Rob, wanted to let you know I appreciate your content. Great comments and conversation yesterday. Thank you so much, my friend. That is awesome. Yesterday was a good conversation. I enjoyed that. And you know what? The best thing about it is I got some insights, and this is why I love comments and I love talking to other people, because nobody knows everything. I mean, nobody's the mastermind out there who knows everything about everything. But in some of the comments, people were pointing out some things that it like really made a light bulb go on in my head. And one of the things was, and I'm getting off base here again, but one of the things was with the Splash Mountain ride. It's in Frontierland at Walt Disney World. So everybody's up in arms like, oh, it's, the Bayou and New Orleans, it doesn't fit into Frontierland. How can they do that? But if you think about it, Song of the South and Splash Mountain is set in the Deep South. It has nothing to do with Frontierland. It has nothing to do with the Wild Wild West or anything like that. So it's just sort of been groomed into our brains that automatically has fit into Frontierland as it is. The facade kind of, it makes it look like it's Frontierland. Makes it look, deserty and that kind of stuff. But the ride itself in Song of the South is based on the Deep South. Has nothing to do with it. So that sort of opened up my mind like, well, what does that have to do? If they make a facade that blends into the scenery, what's inside the ride doesn't matter. I mean, you can go through the bayou once you're inside the ride and still consider it Frontierland. So that really opened up a lot of thought process for me. So I do appreciate that. And I appreciate all the comments that I always see. But basically, if you choose a date, it'll come down here. It'll open up the parks that you want to select. So say you want to go to Hollywood Studios on August the 6th. You would choose that. Again, this is telling me that there's issues with these guests because I've already made my passes, unfortunately. So, but basically, if you didn't have your passes already, you would be able to go in and click continue, and then it would confirm that this is what you want to do, and it would put you... it would put it in your bin of passes. Now, what I'm a little bummed about is for annual pass holders, you can only take 3 reservations. So I only got 3 days, and then obviously you have to wait and use those reservations, and then you could probably make more reservations. But once those reservations are done, once we get past those, I may not be able to get more reservations until a month out or 2 months or who knows how long. So as an annual pass holder, that's kind of a bummer. I'm paying. In fact, I just renewed our passes. We have the Platinum Pass. We don't have the Platinum Plus. We don't do the water parks very much, but we have the Platinum Pass, and that's a lot of money. There's no blackout dates. There's none of that, and so I get 3 opportunities to go in the month of July, and maybe beyond that. I don't know when I'll be able to go back because of this this system. So that really is not setting well, and I don't think it's setting well with a lot of other people out there. In fact, let me try to breeze through here a little bit and try to back up on some of the comments here. I want to touch on the pass holder stuff. Hey, Doug, thank you. Hey, Rob, I have an annual pass, and they did add the close days to my expiration. I'm an out-of-state pass holder. Okay, so you actually had your pass extended, so maybe they just didn't get to everybody, which is still a bummer. I don't think that's fair, if they didn't extend it out for everyone. Maybe there's some underlying issues there. Let's see here. Brian B., you have to get the number to the guest correspondence team. There's never a hold time, and someone always answers. Okay, so the guest correspondence team, that will help if anybody's looking for that. Dan, so far I have 2 reservations for August 1st and the 30th, both for the Magic Kingdom. So you were able to get your reservations. That is a good thing. Let's see here. Minecraft builds. I see things are still opening up, much in Scotland, down in England. So talking about some COVID stuff there. I'm trying to see if anybody has any pass holder issues here. Philip, Joseph, Rob, I am booked for November 26th to December 3rd. I will see you for a burger. That sounds amazing. That would be awesome. So you booked from November 26th to December 3rd. So now if you are staying on property, if you're a resort guest, you can obviously, I think, book more than just the 3 that the pass holders are limited to. And if I'm wrong about this, if I'm doing something wrong, then let me know as well. Any other pass holders out there, if you're finding some other way to get more reservations, I would love to know how to do that. Walt Disney World and SeaWorld Parks with Barry. Very cool name. Hey Rob, I'm a cast member and I return to work on the 29th kind of excited to finally get back to work. That is awesome. I'm very happy for you as well. Anytime people can get back to work, that's a great thing. And obviously, we all want the world to open up. We want the economy, to work. We want incomes. We want all those things. But, did it happen maybe a little too quickly? Are we seeing the results of trying to push things a little too fast? And that's my main concern is, are we really putting our health out there a little too fast? Just trying to get the world to where we think it should be. But again, just a little off topic for the time being. Let's see, Allie, I have another YouTuber that said he didn't get in the parks until August. Yeah, that's it was, like I said, it was 7 a.m. this morning, and I was actually lucky enough to get Epcot. My goal was obviously to get on the 11th to get into the Magic Kingdom, which would have been great. Still waiting for our pass holder previews, which are supposed to be the 9th and 10th. Waiting for those emails to come. I actually got my buddy Expedition Greg on the lookout as well. We're trying to team up and wait for those emails to come so we can try to get pass holder previews. But still cool that I was able to get Epcot on the 15th, which is actually going to be the first day for the Food and Wine Festival to start as well. It's pretty cool that they extended it out into July. It'll be kind of weird to be in the middle of the summer and have a Food and Wine Festival going on, but thumbs up to Disney for doing that at least. So we will be there for that, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then the Magic Kingdom on Thursday the 16th. There's going to be all kinds of people going to the parks on various days and doing live streams. All kinds of great people out there for sure. People that I follow, Resort TV One, I love, Corey Meets World, or Expedition Greg. Obviously, he goes to the parks as well. So you can follow all of them, and then, you can follow me on different days, follow them on different days. We're just one big community here, and we all try to support each other as best as we can. That crazy Disney lady I love, Tanya, she's out in the parks. So a lot of great people out there. And for sure, follow as many people as you can and get different opinions, see the parks through different people's eyes, see it through my eyes, see it through somebody else's eyes. I think that's what's best about these communities that we kind of form. And we, you can see, you guys go to the different comments, and I see you guys in different comments and following different people, and it's great to have, everybody back and forth. So that really means a lot to me for sure. JW, it also sounds like I did well on the reservations. Though not perfect. Yeah, I mean, I'm not unhappy at all with the reservations. I'm really happy that I did get Epcot. I'm just kind of bummed that it was open at 6 and not 7. I don't know what the deal was with that. Hey, Chris Clark, thank you for being here. How's the heat wave down there? It is nasty. It has been like 95, 100 degrees and just nasty, and my foot got bit by a bunch of fire ants today, and I just was not in a good mood, but I'm in a good mood now because I get to hang out with you guys, which always is a great thing. Minecraft builds. I'm not a pass holder. I'm all the way over the sea in the UK. I'm not traveling outside the UK for some time until the 14 lockdown comes off, or I'll lose on the holiday because of it. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are coming over from the UK, and I think that they're limiting a lot of travel from other countries as well. And I wouldn't even recommend it. Even being an annual pass holder here and not being able to go to the parks as much as we'd like to, and they're not doing the parades and the meet and greets and the gatherings, and a lot of the experience is not going to be there anyways. So I don't know how to justify, especially coming from that long of a distance, coming from across the ocean to get over here. It just wouldn't be worth the experience personally, I don't think. Which is kind of one of the other reasons of, should they really be opening this soon and not have the full experience and not the benefit of paying for an annual pass and those kind of things, and having people come in to the resorts and have the limited experiences. And I mean, will it be cool to go and have, a 20% or whatever percent capacity that they're doing in the parks? Absolutely. To go there and have, much less people in the parks is going to be great. I'm all for that, but under the circumstances, I don't think it's that great of a thing. Obviously, nobody wants to be in this situation in the world with, having, to possibly put risk to their health and your loved one's health, and traveling back and forth and taking something possibly from here back home, or vice versa, bringing something from home here, and you just never know. There's so many issues out there, and Disney is obviously taking as many precautions as they can, and we will get into that, I promise, here shortly. Bev, I made Park Pass reservations for all days in July trip, December and March trip, no problem at all. So now, Bev, are you staying on property? Because I don't think they're limiting the reservations for people who are staying on property, so which is a good thing. If you're coming down here and you're going to spend the money to stay in the resorts, then by all means you should get, to be able to go to the parks. But, then again, we as pass holders are spending a lot of money as well to have these passes, and I think we should have more of an opportunity than just three chances to go to the parks. It seems a little thin to me, and I'd like to see that extended out for sure. Okay, where'd my comments go here? Lori, we are scheduled for November since a year ago at Saratoga Springs. We are APS. My husband still had to dig up our reservation number to make park reservations. He was on the phone. So you're trying to deal with that situation as well. But again, you're staying in the resort, so you might have a better opportunity. Nemo with Glasses, we are coming first week of October. Got all the days we are there in the park. Really interested to see how many people are going to be there. Yeah, I don't know if they've actually announced a number or a percentage. If they're cutting it off at X, thousand amount of people, or a percentage base. I'm not sure what they're doing. I'm sure they have a number in mind. I think the capacity for Magic Kingdom is like 90,000 people or something like that. And I've been there at capacity for like New Year's Eve and things like that, and it is genuinely packed when you're in there. So, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to bring it down to 5 or 10,000, or what their numbers are. Hey Jared, good afternoon. Sherry, so helpful, enjoying your vlogs. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Lori, still on the phone on the website for hours last week. Yeah, I mean, it's just such a headache, and it's so frustrating and nerve-wracking, and your blood pressure goes up, and I'm sure everybody's experiencing this, trying to get in and trying to get what they want, and just trying to make their plans, and then whether or not these plans are still gonna to flourish, because who knows what happens in the next couple weeks. The state may come in and say, okay, we're cutting things back here, we're gonna shut things down. And it doesn't seem like governments want to do that. It seems like governments are more, following the dollar and making sure the economy is thriving, and not really taking into the fact people's health. It just seems to be that, well, it's okay. We'll risk a few things in order to get the numbers up and to make people feel like things are back to normal. And maybe it's just the fact that people do feel a little more normal, and that could be a bad thing as well, because once you start feeling normal and you start feeling like, oh, the world is just happy around me again, you start letting your guard down a little bit. And a good example is when I went back to Disney Springs for the first time. It was my daughter and I, and we were walking around. We had the masks on outside and everything, and then we got into the World of Disney inside the store. And we're walking around, and then people, just started coming from back and forth, from over here, and it just got more and more crowded inside the store. And we're going back and forth, and you're kind of rubbing arms with people, and you're walking by people, you're not distancing, because you get into that mindset. Your brain just automatically starts to get back into that mode of, well, I'm having fun, I'm at Disney, I'm looking around, I'm not paying attention, and it just becomes habit again. So that's a bad thing as well. Once you start breaking your habits and you start breaking that sense of what you're supposed to be doing around you. And of course, when you're at Disney World, that is going to happen by far. I mean, that's what Disney does, is they take you into their world, and they, your mind just drifts, and you become, happy and a kid at heart, and, pixie dust everywhere, and you forget what you're supposed to be doing. You forget about trying to keep yourself safe. So that could be a hard thing as well. And I did experience it firsthand. I know it happens. Let's see, Nicole, I was able to book mine, but like you, I couldn't get the 11th either. Wonder what time that you started, Nicole. If you started at 6 or 7 this morning. Dan Wayne, Tanya is super. She's a friend of mine. Yeah, I see, Dan, you're on her your chats all the time as well. That is awesome. She's just a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed doing her show. She actually had me on for a get-to-know session or an interview, and that was a lot of fun. We talked for like over 2 hours and could have just kept going and going, but had a lot of fun with that. So go check out her channel for sure. Check out my video on her channel, but definitely go check her out. A lot of fun, great live streams. Let's see, Nemo, for in-state annual passes, I wonder if it's a rolling 3-day limit. So as you use a day, you can schedule the next issue in front of the Skyliner. I miss the Skyliner as well. Would so love to be there on the Skyliner for sure. But that's what I'm thinking as well. So like I said, I have to wait till the 15th. So you can see here, I have my pass. My first pass will be on Wednesday the 15th to go to Epcot. So on the 16th, I should be able to go in and make another day. But by that time, I mean, everybody who's made their choices already up until that point, I may not get another pass until, who knows, the end of October or next year. I don't know. I mean, these passes are going to start going and going and going. People are eating them up. So I don't know if they're going to, open more passes up, if they're just opening up small blocks, and then, they'll gradually open a little more here on this day and a little more here on that day. You'll have cancellations and stuff like that. I don't know what the system is going to be, but right now it really seems like a bummer. I mean, it seems like it would be able to go to Disney, and this is just my personal experience. I don't know if everybody else is going to have the same experience. Obviously, again, if you're staying on the resorts or at the resorts, it seems like you're getting what you want, which is a great thing. You're paying a lot of money to come down here, and you should get that. But like I could go for these 3 days in July and then maybe not go until August or September or who knows beyond that. And that really seems like a bummer to me. Matt playing with special needs baseball, 2 theme parks still closed in Virginia going into phase 3. So you have your theme parks closed in Virginia and they're going into phase 3. Big Disney fan in 3 years. My cousin and I are planning to go to Walt Disney World and possibly Universal Orlando. 3 years might be a good thing because it doesn't seem like anytime in the near future that things are going to really start kicking into high gear. It really makes me nervous about, the 50th anniversary if, things start kicking up as well. David in South Carolina, Rob, do you think once you use your first park reservation, you'll be able to add another one? I think we just talked about that. Let's see here. Rick, I don't see many people realizing the parks are an extravagance and taking it seriously. I see many more complaints about not getting discounts since limited experiences explains the virus explosion. Yeah, I think I was kind of touching on that as well. It's like, the parks are an extravagant thing and you begin not to take it seriously. So it's going to be difficult. I think people are really going to find themselves falling into some difficult situations. Let's see here. Expedition Greg, I was one of the lucky ones. I got the Magic Kingdom on the 11th. Yes, you did. In fact, I was chatting with Greg this morning, and he actually sent me a message and said they're open, and I didn't even hear the message or see it. And then I go on and saw that he was like on at 6 a.m. this morning, and I'm like, good for you. But at least he and I both got the 15th at Epcot, so we'll be able to hook up there and have some fun. JJ Johnson, I am still holding my December 2020 reservation for now, but that could change. Yeah, who knows? This year's going to be difficult for a lot of people. I don't think, I don't know what's going to happen if they're going to close things, keep things open. Minecraft builds, buses are being are limited to 16 people, but are able to get on a low in London. It's stupid, but that's just normal. So is that in London you're talking about that, or the Disney buses? I know that they limited the capacity. I didn't know it was 16 people. You might be referring to London, but I thought it was like 20 or 25 people on the Disney buses. P-tier, getting your reservation at Disney is like catching a Pokemon. Everyone is going nuts. Yeah, that's what it is. Everybody's out there. They want to get their thing, and that's why I'm thinking, most of probably the next 2 months are all gone. Even if I wanted to try to get another reservation, most of it's probably all gone, and that really is just not a cool thing. Let's see, Dan, I got to the parks once a month, so this shouldn't affect me. I go to the parks once a month, so it shouldn't affect me. Yeah, and like I said, it's different for different people. I'm not trying to take your experience or someone else's experience and make it mine. I'm voicing for me personally, because you guys know I do spend a lot of time in the parks, as well, as do a lot of other people, and to have that limited experience and to pay, all that money for such a limited experience, and especially now just to get the 3 reservations, just is kind of a letdown. A little bummed about that, but we'll see as time goes on what happens. We may even see that if they do land up closing things down here again, then they'll extend the passes, and who knows what's going to happen at this point. But let's kind of move on a little bit. I know, so that's the reservation system. I went through that. Hopefully that helped. If you haven't done it yet, definitely try to get on and get your passes. It should work the same for, whether or not you're doing a resort, or if you're an annual pass holder. They are going to be opening up, I believe, on the 28th for normal ticket holders. At that point, there was another calendar on here. I'm not sure if I can get to it. Doesn't look like they're showing it. Let me see here. Yeah, there was another screen that they were showing that it took you to a calendar to where they had like all the dates open, and like the blockout dates and what you could and couldn't book. But I don't see access to that now, so they may have changed that. If you want, I did post a couple things on Facebook as well. If you want to go to Passport to the Parks on Facebook, basically I put on here that Florida just broke the single-day record, confirming 8,942 new COVID cases. What are your thoughts moving forward? Should the parks stay open? A lot of people commenting on that. 39 comments on that right now. And then the other one was who made their park reservations this morning, any issues. So if you want to go in and peruse through those comments and chat with those people, a lot of different thoughts and comments coming through on that. Let's see, Terry got hers at 6 a.m. with no problem. Super easy. Richard says super easy. Sean, my pass expires on the 8th, but I renewed already, but can't book. I did have to wait for the old passes to expire first. Not sure about that. In fact, I answered that. Like I said, I renewed last night, and I didn't have any issues with that. So, Matt. Matt he's from the UK. They're having some issues with flights and not bringing people over from the UK and stuff like that, and so just all kinds of traveling issues. And Rusty said no issues. Tracy made them easy this morning. Chad was on hold when he made his comments. Eileen says, yeah, you can only do the 3 reservations as far as an annual pass holder. So kind of a bummer with that. So just kind of moving on here, I wanted to, let me cue this video up here real quick, and we'll get into talking a little bit more about the parks themselves and as far as opening. Now, I know that Disney is, taking their precautions, and they did put out this video 5 or 6 days ago as far as how they're going to be addressing the what you're supposed to do inside the parks and all that. So let's take a quick look at this.
With the well-being of our guests and cast members at the forefront of our planning, we are eager to welcome you back to Walt Disney World Resort. We are implementing a number of new measures, including a park reservation system, temperature screenings, and face coverings. Park attendance will be managed through a new park reservation system. To enter a park, both a park reservation and a valid admission for the same park on the same date are required. You'll be able to link park admission to your Disney account to start making park entry reservations online at disneyworld.com. Prior to entering, guests will undergo a temperature screening with no-touch thermometers. If you or anyone in your party have temperatures of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or above, your party will not be allowed entry. All guests 2 years of age or older, along with cast members, are required to wear an appropriate face covering. Please bring your own face coverings and wear them at all times, except when dining or swimming. To align with guidance on physical distancing, we will be limiting the number of guests at any given time. Follow ground markings and physical barriers added to help everyone responsibly navigate the property. We've implemented enhanced cleaning procedures and will have hand sanitizer and hand washing locations available for guests and cast members. Please be sure to use these frequently. The My Disney Experience app will be essential to make the most of the magic. Use your mobile device for cashless payments and the My Disney Experience app for mobile food ordering and more. We look forward to seeing you soon at Walt Disney World Resort.
All right, so that does explain a lot of the things that they're doing, most of which, a lot of the other
there are so
parks and
many
everything
diverse...
are doing. Sorry about that. Let me mute this. A lot of the other parks are doing the same thing, the temperature screenings, the social distancing, the requiring of the mask, the frequent cleaning, those kind of things, everything that we should be doing already. I will say for sure, if I was going to go anywhere and if I chose to go anywhere where I was going to feel the safest, Disney would be that place. No matter what, Disney always puts safety first above everything else. That's number one for Disney, is always safety. So I think that they are going to go above and beyond as far as their procedures for cleaning. And we've already seen some of it online. Some folks have been staying in resorts and things like that, riding the buses. And we've seen, a lot of cleanliness. There's really hardly anybody there right now to really deal with. So as far as that aspect, I think the safety guidelines are good. But, you can only do so much. It's, we're all human and anything can happen at any time. So you get a large core group of people together no matter what. And, there's a potential to spread things for sure. And especially when you have people traveling to, coming here from their home state and then traveling back to their home state, that can always be an issue as well. And I'm no doctor, I'm no scientist. I see, the numbers that I look at. I try to look at things. In fact, I follow the John Hopkins numbers. There's a lot of things that you can find on here. If you haven't gone to this website yet, this is really, really a helpful website. There's all kinds of charts and numbers and graphs and everything from new cases to old cases to trends to deaths to hospitalizations and all kinds of stuff. Stuff that I really don't want to dive into, but just as an overview, you can see the dark purple is the heavier or the higher cases for the state of Florida. So really down south where it's always been, down towards Miami and things like that, it's really heavy down there. But if you look, Orlando and Orange County is dark purple as well. So that it's right in that area. You have Osceola County, and then you have Orange County as well. Disney kind of sits in that aspect there. But Orlando, Orange County is one of the heavier hit areas around here. So that's kind of a bummer. Polk County is pretty heavy as well. I actually am in the Polk County area. So you can see that they are having their issues. as well as a lot of the other southern states. Down here, let me close this off. Back this out a little bit. And you can see overall there's just a lot of purple. You can see down here Louisiana, even into Texas is really starting to have their issues. Over here, like Arizona is really being hit hard. So a lot of the southern states in California, up north, are actually doing pretty well. I'm from Ohio, so I'm kind of bummed that I'm not in Ohio right now, because they're actually on a very good track up there. But you can see definitely down south here, we're starting to feel it. And I think people get a little more lax down here because they like to go out. They think that it's warm down here. The sun is shining. The beaches are open and everything is just fun and excitement. And now I think we're starting to see the result of that is, and people have said, kind of compared, deaths, the hospitalizations, the cases themselves. Of course, it's great that, our death count, which is still rising, but it's not rising as much as it was, I don't believe. And again, I'm not 100% accurate on numbers. I'm not a scientist. I don't do this for a living. It's just kind of what I glance at. But even cases, the more and more cases we get, it just means that it's the potential to spread. In my opinion, it's just the potential to spread. Even if you don't get sick, if you don't get violently ill, the asymptomatic, you can still spread it around to people that could have issues. A lot of unhealthy people out there. I have my own deals as well. People have been out there saying, they have breathing issues and heart issues, and we all have our issues that we may deal with. So I get nervous, when I go out. I try to avoid going out as much as possible, and I wear a mask and things like that. And it seems to be more of a personal choice for people. And I do actually see a lot of people in masks when I go out down here, because I think they're really starting to see this trend happen down here in Florida, especially. So it's good that people are starting to take notice to that. And in fact, they actually had the first coronavirus task force meeting. The government did, and they haven't had one in like a month or something like that, because it seems like they're trying to again make it seem like, oh, everything's great, the economy's great, we want to get things open, and if we don't talk about it, it'll just go away. And now all of a sudden, we see the coronavirus task force again, because the numbers are there, things are rising, and it gets a little scary. And I'm not here to preach about that. Whatever your views are on that, and that's fine. But I'm trying to get the opinions on how it affects the parks, and whether or not you think going to the park is a good thing, if they should delay opening, if they should be on track for opening. What are your opinions as far as that goes? So let me jump back a little bit here. Hey, Zippity Doodad, thank you for coming on, my friend. And as always, being a moderator as well. I appreciate you. So let's see. Where did I leave off here? Brian is saying you got to use the guest correspondence team line. They only allow 2 rings and someone will pick up. Never a second of hold time. Wow, the guest correspondence team line. So try that out. If that they can actually keep that up, that would be that's pretty amazing. Hopefully they can. Hey, Matthew Broser, thank you for being here. Mike, that's really unfair that pass holders, I can only book 8 days with my package. But at least you're getting 8 days. If you're staying on property, we as pass holders seem to only get the 3 days, which is a real bummer. 2G's better half, hello to you as well. We to Disney and beyond. Don't bother looking at the calendar availability. It does not show the accurate info. Go in, choose your party members, and then your day. Yeah, they're not even showing that calendar anymore. Like I said, there was a little calendar that you could click on, and it would show you like different what's blocked out or blacked out or whatever already. And but now it's just this main calendar. So you basically got to choose the day you want to go and see if it's available, which is fine, not a big deal. Let's see. I can never say this. Mushy sushi slushy. Musy slushy. Cases are spiking above the original spike. Countries are going to block travel from the U.S. This isn't good. Florida parks should close. Let's see, Dan, does anyone know if they will let us in a bit earlier like they used to with the rope drop? That's a good question. I'm not sure if they'll... I don't even know if they're doing extended times for the parks or anything like that for resort guests. I haven't looked too much into that. Tyler, I think this is going to be easier at Walt Disney World compared to DI. Not quite sure what that is. Way less than at Disneyland. Oh, that's a DL. The periods look like DI. Easier at Disney World compared to Disneyland. More space to spread across at Disney World than Disneyland. In fact, they delayed the Disneyland opening as well. I know that they had delayed it a little bit. I'm not exactly sure if they settled on a date now or if it's still just delayed for their opening. Allie, I also think all of the safety and health precautions, cleaning and sanitizing should always be done everywhere. Absolutely. I think, Disney's always been a very clean place. To me, they do a good job as far as cleaning. I think they're going to do an extra good job now. And you're right, it should just be continued into the future. Because if this can happen once, it can always happen again. So we should always... take these precautions moving on. Not necessarily saying you have to wear a mask for the rest of our life, hopefully not, but washing your hands and sanitizer and stuff like that, especially when you're in highly public areas. Minecraft builds, wonder what the UK map looks like. It's just really bad. Well, you can always go onto this website and take a look. Let me take the world map here. I will just shoot over there real quick just for the heck of it. Maybe if this refreshes. Yeah, it's taking forever. Okay, we'll read some comments. Let's see here. Very fortunate for Canada. So far, things have been okay compared to a lot of places in the world. Canada seems to be doing pretty well. Wow! Look at North America. How just absurdly red that is. And yeah, Europe. It's looking pretty rough there too as well. Africa, the central part of South America looks good. Asia is looking better, but definitely Europe is feeling some hot spots. But look at that. Look at the U.S. compared to the rest of the world. I mean, that's almost embarrassing, and you can't say we're testing more. I personally just don't buy that. I mean, obviously, if we are testing more, that's a good thing. The more cases we can find and try to isolate and have awareness from and take precautions with, then that's a good thing. But it's obvious. I mean, look how heavy that is all over the United States, especially on the eastern side here in the southern states. That's just it's a scary thing, and I think we're steamrolling ahead here. And maybe that's not such a good thing. Let me jump around a little bit here. Who else do we got coming on? Wendy, I'm from Wisconsin, and people are really laying with masks. But I don't go out, and I have COPD. Wish they would wear masks so the rest of us can start having a life. Yeah, it's becoming... I'm actually a firm believer in the mask. Whatever your beliefs are, if it's a political thing for you, if it's a health thing for you, if you think you should wear them, if you don't, I'm not here to debate that at all. It's a personal choice for me that I truly believe that, even if it lowers the chances by 1%, if that 1% helps in any way, then why not? I mean, what is the deal behind wearing a mask and going out and keeping myself safe and other people safe from me, if that is the case? it just, and this is a personal thing, it just seems selfish not to wear one. And it kind of irks me a little bit too. I'm glad to see that the parks are definitely saying you have to wear the masks, you have to do these things. I think it should be more across the board that businesses should really be doing this. Because think about it, I mean, you can't, you don't go in without a shirt, no shoes, no service. What's the difference between adding a mask to that, especially when it comes to health and it comes to keeping us safe in the world. So it's just it's a personal thing. Whatever your beliefs are, that's fine. But it's, as the trends go, I think we really need to start taking it more seriously for sure. Karki worried about the cast members. Many are older folks. That's a great point too. The cast members, they don't have a choice. They got to go back to work. And I think that there was like a petition or something that some cast members were making as far as not wanting to go back to work and delaying the opening and things like that. They're going to be provided masks and the cleaning materials and things like that, but you're getting put in that situation. And you're right, there's a lot of retirees, there's a lot of older folks who do work for Disney, and what are you going to do? Moosey Slushy. Check out that chart. Exactly, that is a crazy chart to look at. Davy Crocketeer, awesome name. I love that name. Statistics I read: 350 million people with 120,000 deaths equals only a 0.27% chance of death. Even so, even if it's a 0.27% chance of death, that still is a chance of death in my book. It's not a risk that I would personally like to have. I would like to see a 0% chance of death, and I mean, nothing like that can ever happen. You can always go out and get hit by a bus, or fall into a sinkhole here in Florida, or a meteor could hit you, or who knows what could happen. But if it's things that we have an opportunity to take some control over and find a way to protect ourselves in some way, I would rather do that. You take precautions. You wear a seatbelt in your car. You wear meteor preventing helmets when you go outside. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. You take precautions to try to ensure your safety with certain things. You wear, if you ride a roller coaster, if you're crazy enough to ride a roller coaster, you wear a harness to do that. You wouldn't go on there without a harness and risk your life. So why go out and risk your life in other ways if there's potential ways to prevent things or to help prevent things? Then for certain, I think it's a good thing to try to take those precautions. Again, if you don't want to do it for yourself, then do it for me and for my family. I do it for you and your family, and somebody else may do it for you and your family. It's just it's a personal thing that I think will benefit, and is a little uncomfortable. Is it going to be a bummer walking around here in the Florida heat? I already do it. When I go out, you do it. Been to Disney Springs, done it. I'm going to walk around the parks with that mask on. It's going to be uncomfortable. It is what it is, but it's something that we're going to have to do. And again, it's a choice. If you want to go or if you don't want to go. Still curious to know if you guys really are planning on going, if you think it will be safe to go, or should they delay it? Just curious, out of everybody that's on here right now, just your thoughts. Either type delay or no delay. Just make it easy. I'm just curious to get a percentage of numbers of how people are feeling out there. Should they delay the opening, or should they just go ahead with it? So delay or no delay. Just curious. I'm going to take a quick drink here. With my Goofy cup. I'm sure you've seen these cups before, but it says Goofy on the inside. I don't know if you can see it very well. Does it? Maybe this one. Oh, the mini cup says Minnie on the inside. I'm sorry. This one actually has the Goofy hat on the inside. And, it says Goofy on the back. So pretty cool. Not one of the mugs that I have hanging behind me. This is an everyday drink mug here, but still good water in there. All right, so Ellie, I don't think that we will end up going. So Dean says delay, Mike delay, JJ delay, 2G no delay, Thina delay, Allie delay, P-Tier delay, Sereno delay, Disney Chuck delay, Jim no delay, Tyler delay, We Too Disney and Beyond delay, Car Key delay, Minecraft Builds delay, Bob Baker delay. Wow, this is overwhelming. JW Dasso no delay. Like you, there are a lot of us who want to go. I'm with you, JW Dasso. I want to go. Trust me. You know, watching videos and going to Disney Springs and knowing that the parks are slowly getting ready to open. You know, I'm bumming to go to the parks just as much as anybody. I want to go and experience that magic again, because you know, you just feel it. It's in your blood and you want to go. But the other half of me is pretty nervous about doing it. And again, you know, it's literally putting your health on the line to go and enjoy yourself. And I mean, you do it, you go to Walmart to buy your groceries or wherever you go, and you're doing the same thing. So, you know, to go to Disney and to have that opportunity, I know that I'm going to do everything that I can when I do go on these dates, to take as best precautions as I can, and to really distance and to be as aware as I possibly can. So I'm going to take my own safety. Disney's going to take my safety into their hands. I know that for sure, but I'm going to 100% take my safety, my daughter's safety, my wife's safety. We're all going to do what we need to do. And I think if everybody does that and they maintain that awareness and they don't let themselves slip into that Disney sinkhole of magic and gloriness and pixie dust and let your mind drift off and try to stay aware as possible, then I think I think we can do this. Lori, no delay. Bev, no delay. Philip, delay for sure. Zero, no delay. P-Tier, 90% delay. 10% no delay. That's no fair. You can't be wishy-washy. Then you'd be like me. I'm wishy-washy about everything. David Crocketeer is undecided. You can go in there with your coonskin cap and your musket, and you could just take care of coronavirus like that. So I don't know what you're afraid of. You can't be undecided. You're David Crocketeer. You need to go in there and do it. G. Wilson, no delay. Mike, I'm supposed to go in December, and I'm fully prepared to delay that I'm not flying into a hot zone. So you're prepared, but if it delays, it delays. So I think that's a pretty good plan for you. Resort budgeting water. Yeah, right, kidding. Yeah, I don't drink anything hard. I don't drink alcohol or anything like that. It's just really never been my thing. Every once in a while I might have a beer or something like that, but may taste a beer or something like that, but I'm definitely not a drinker. Tea and iced tea and water are pretty much my go-tos. But after this I might start drinking for sure, with all the craziness going on in this world. Bob, thank you for the video. Much appreciated. Stay safe. Thank you, Bob, always for being here. Always great to get your back and forth on things. You kind of bring it sometimes, which is a lot of fun, and I appreciate that. Always play a devil's advocate on some things, which is pretty cool. Sherry says delay. Edge 70 canceled and will delay. Not worth it when traveling from out of state. There you go. So you just you've made up your own mind on that. Mike, if the numbers are under 500 a day, I guess you'll be good to go. Man, it doesn't look like that now. They are just climbing like Mount Everest over here. They're climbing like the hills that do not exist in Louisiana, but apparently they're going to have, for the new Splash Mountain Princess and the Frog, a 5-story drop down a waterfall on a hill in Louisiana. I got off topic there, but I had to throw that in there. I don't know how they're going to do that. Let's see here. Tyler, I had to cancel my Disney trip and my Disneyland Paris trip too as well. Wow. Sad we can't go, but delay makes the most sense. Reese waiting for the Princess and the Frog, just talking about that. Mike, but at Walmart you're not around 10,000 people. That's true. But I guess what I'm trying to say is you take a risk. No matter what, you can go out and you can contract it from one person, let alone, you're right, if 10,000 people. It's a lot of people to put in one spot for sure. Resort budgeting, I'm planning on doing an annual pass for the 50th next year. 2G's better half. If everyone does their part, why delay? Because that is the thing, and I touched on that as well, is I think we all will try to do our part, but I know for me personally, and I reiterated this when I went to Disney Springs, is you fall into that trap of when you're in the parks, your mind just starts to go, and your joy takes over, and the fantasy takes over, and you start to forget yourself, and you start to forget trying to take your precautions and distance and things like that, and you just get into it, and you're out, and you start walking around people, and you're by people, and you're closer, and you just, for the most part, I think people will. But trust me, you get into that mindset. There's the castle, and there's the lights and the rides and blah blah blah, and the food and all this, and all of a sudden, you just rubbed against somebody, and you're like, oh great, and what happened? And then that happens a little bit later, and it is what it is. We're all human beings, and we're all gonna make mistakes, and we're all gonna get caught up in that Disney magic. Everybody else here. Allie, it's the touching and the stuff everywhere you go. Someone wipes their nose under their mask and then touches the ride bars you are sitting on. Yeah, and you know what? I'm guilty of that too. It's, you're walking around, let's say I'm walking around a store or something like that. I'll do that. I'll lose myself and, kind of reach up and, you rub your eye or something like that. That's like the worst thing that you could possibly do. But it is what it is. I mean, you're going to be in Florida in 100-degree weather with a mask on, and you're going to be sweating. And don't tell me it's not going to be easy. You're right. You're going to be sitting there, in a ride, and you're going to be leaning on a handrail or leaning against a wall. And then you're going to be, it's so hot, and wipe that sweat off. And there you go. It's happened. It's just, you can't do anything about it. You can do as much as you can, but you can't do everything about it. It's something is going to happen. It's just human nature. It's what's going to happen. I mean, the only way to truly do it is just to have everything shut down and just to wait it out. And I know it's impossible, and I know it's crazy, and I know it was terrible, and I know being trapped for those 3 months in general was horrible for a lot of people. Not saying that I want to do it, but in order to wipe the thing out totally, that's what you would have to do. So I just think maybe the slowing it down much slower than it's been going so far. And you're seeing that states are already starting to do it. Texas is already on that bandwagon right now. The governor has announced that, they're shutting down bars, they're limiting capacity, and they're going back. And they're starting to go back to those lower numbers because they're seeing, this didn't work. It wasn't a healthy thing to do to open so fast. Now it is working up north. It seems to be working in Ohio and New York and things like that. So, maybe they delayed it a little bit more, or maybe they're just not as, I'm from Ohio, and I guess we're not as social up there. We didn't have like the beaches and all the fun stuff and the cool stuff to go out and do. So maybe it's just, people are coming down here from other places on vacations, the beaches, and it's easier to spread down here. And the heat for sure doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's not like the flu, to where during the summer it dies down a little bit. It just does not seem to care where or how hot it is. At least it doesn't seem to be. Let's see, Minecraft builds. I would much rather wait until the cases go down. The UK is already facing the second lockdown again. Resort budgeting. I am planning on doing an annual pass. We got that one. I'm trying to see where I left off here. Car Key, Rob, I appreciate these recent lives. Your channel is a rare place on YouTube to have a civil debate on current issues. That is awesome to hear. I appreciate that, because this really does, it means a lot to me, and hopefully it means a lot to you guys too. And again, I'm not here to preach. I just want to open these platforms up and get people's opinions and see how you feel about things, and share stories and share experiences. And if it helps somebody, if it helps me, if it helps you, that's great. Like I said, yesterday's chat was just a lot of fun, because I learned a lot of things, or it kind of opened my mind to a lot of things and different ways of thinking about certain aspects of the parks and the overlay for the ride. And that's what I love. I love chatting with people. I always said that about the Skyliner too. Most of the stuff that I learned along the way for the Skyliner was based on having conversations with people and learning from people with experience and who've worked in the industry. And, I didn't know anything. I was completely wet behind the ears. And then, 2 years later, I know like that thing, like the back of a greasy wheel. I mean, it's just something you do. And the more you talk to people, if you can't take the time to learn from someone else, then you're missing out on great opportunities, because I'm always open to listening to people and learning from people and getting different people's opinions. I have my own opinions, my own beliefs, but I'm always opening to listening to other people. And, they may say something that's like, oh, but if you look at it this way, or if you think about it this way, and I'm like, well, I guess I really never did think about it that way. And just as human beings, I think, we should do that to educate ourselves, especially with Disney, because there's so much experience out there. I have many, many years since going from the 70s to Disney, and all through the years, the things that I've learned and seen, and I love sharing that, in the experiences that I have now. I like to reflect back on those experiences and share those with you. But other people have different experiences. People have done things that I haven't. They've ridden roller coasters, or they might have stayed at a resort that I haven't, or eaten something that I haven't, or know something about the transportation, or as a cast member that worked here and had this experience, or whatever. And to hear that and to bring it into your own experience, and then to be able to reflect that, back onto people as well. That's what makes these the most amazing things that you could do, these chats, these communities. And that's why I always encourage people to bounce around to other chats as well. I always list them here. I have no problem listing the people that I love. Again, Resort TV 1, Corey Meets World, that crazy Disney lady, Zippity Doodad's on here. He's got a great channel, Expedition Greg. Just great people out there. And we all support each other. We all love going back and forth and learning from each other and sharing the experiences. So, didn't mean to get off on that whole tangent there, but you guys get me going sometimes. I think overall, generally, I think people are more for the delay. Definitely a higher percentage of delays than no delays. But again, we don't make the call. Disney ultimately makes the call whether or not they will, or whether or not they even have a choice. I think Disney does have a lot of influence within the state of Florida here, and in probably other states as well. So I'm sure they're going to put their 2 cents in. But at any point, the governor or the mayors or whatever can come and say, this is what we're doing. We're gonna scale it back. We're gonna do this. So they may not even have a choice in the long run. But you have to do what's best for everyone. Obviously, I want Disney to go back to the way it was, and to make money so they can do better projects, and they can invest in the company and invest in their movies and invest in their products, and so we can buy more cool stuff and go to the parks whenever we want, and just thumb dollar bills out like we're used to. But Disney is great about putting that money back into their company and giving us better experiences as well. So I don't want this to happen, more than anybody else. But I put my own personal safety, my family safety above above anything, and I hope you guys do too. And I put your safety in that category as well. That's why I will take whatever precautions I can to keep you guys safe as well. Let's see, Matthew, why don't they have an overlay like the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland on the Christmas months with Splash Mountain? They could have a Princess and the Frog overlay that will work just like the Haunted Mansion. I think it's all a they just want to do away with the IP altogether. It has nothing to do with the overlay. It all has to do with what's right and what's decent, and it's just they want to get rid of it and just be done with it. And years from now, we'll look back and it'll just be the Princess and the Frog, and it's what we'll have to go with. Personally, I think they could have done a different overlay of some sort. And I don't know. There's great minds out there that think at Disney, but I don't think the Princess and the Frog works there, especially in Frontierland. I wish it would have had its own ride system, like in Fantasyland somewhere. But then again, like they pointed out yesterday in the comments, Song of the South doesn't fit in there anyways. When you really think about it, Song of the South is set in the Deep South, has nothing to do with the Western frontier. So, and it just automatically in our minds fits in over there. So I'm sure they'll make the Princess and the Frog work. I love Princess and the Frog. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I love the music. The last drawn animated feature that Disney did. So I'm very happy that they're bringing it into the park for sure. I love meeting Tiana. I think she's a great meet and greet. Let's see. David Crocketeer, is Disney caving or are they leading the way? I think Disney was smart for waiting a month as far as opening. Universal opened and then Disney is waiting a month. And I think they did that for strategic reasons to kind of wait and see how things were going to go, how Universal panned out. And now, obviously, it's for good reasons. They're going to say, what's happening with this whole situation. So maybe that was the thinking behind it altogether. Kevin and Teresa, having over $50K invested into DVC properties, not sure what to do. Keep it, sell it at a loss. Yeah, that's even beyond us as annual pass holders and what we invest into our passes. Yeah, you as a DVC member, over $50K invested into those properties. That's a big deal. And I don't know how they're treating DVC as far as perks or monies or things like that. But you're right, if it's limited, if you're not able to do what you normally would, that's a lot of money to invest. Pardon me. Okay, sorry about that. I really hope you get that figured out though, guys. For sure, that's a lot of money. I didn't really think about the DVC property owners for sure. Tyler, breaking news, it's official. The NBA is coming to Walt Disney World. Yes, they certainly are. They're going to be playing here at the Wide World of Sports, and they're going to be staying at various Disney resorts. I believe Coronado Springs, the Beach Club. I think Animal Kingdom Lodge is one. So that should be pretty awesome for sure. Let's see, DVC actually contacted me to add on our DVC contracts. What? Seriously? So they're trying to sell you more during what's going on here. Wow, that's some salesmanship for sure. Wow, it's trying to sell ketchup to a cat in white gloves, I guess. Chris Clark, no delay. Another no delay there. Resort budgeting, went to Myrtle Beach last week, was thinking about visiting a go-kart place. Did not see any masks on and didn't go. Yeah, definitely, I would definitely avoid that too. Good call. Tyler, NBA and Disney have reached an agreement that makes the arena, the field house, and Visa Athletic Center at ESPN Wide World of Sports, the venues for all the games. Yeah, I did see that. In fact, I have a full tour video of ESPN, of the ESPN Wide World of Sports there, and that video is like some of my top numbers now. People have been going there like crazy because they want to see where the NBA is playing, and I get all kinds of comments in there, and I'm like, oh, I'm here because of the NBA, and I'm watching this video, and thanks for the video and all that. So props to the NBA for boosting my video count for the Wide World of Sports. So if you actually want to see where they're playing, go check out that video. It's a live stream. I go all through the Wide World of Sports there, and it was a lot of fun. Minecraft builds, they have to clean the ride every time you get off, and that's going to cost a lot of cleaning products, and then they have to keep people apart on the rides. Yeah, I mean, I don't envy what they have to do. You know, they are definitely going to have to clean those ride systems, clean railings, just constantly they're going to have to be cleaning through those parks, because I know the last thing Disney wants, and they're in a rock and a hard place too, they want to open, they want to get their revenue going, they want to make people happy. But in the back of their minds, you know, they have to be nervous. They don't want something major to happen. They don't want to trace back here that, you know, all these people got sick coming to their parks, or Universal doesn't want that, or nobody wants that. I mean, you know, a small church in Oklahoma doesn't want that. And it's so hard to figure out what to do in the long run. I mean, there's no good answer to this for sure. Let's see here. Allie, you are in Ohio. I agree. We don't have people coming here as much. Yeah, it's not like coming down here to Florida. Me being from Ohio, you know, we pretty much, you know, sat around and then went to the mall, and that was about it. We had Lake Erie where I was from, and that was fun to go to in the summer, but that was about it. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's very cool. If you've never been there, it's actually really good. Let's see here. Matthew, I am new and do appreciate the tone of the conversation. Thank you so much, Matthew. I appreciate that. Hopefully you subscribed. We do have a lot of great conversations here. David Crocketeer, same here. I'm new also. Yeah, I've never seen your name. I will remember that for sure. Thank you both for being here. Let's see, and I do go through the parks and everything, not so much right at the moment, but if you go back and you watch my videos, huge with the Skyliner, love the Skyliner, followed all the Skyliner construction and all that. I do follow a lot of construction stuff, and I do a lot of live streams in the parks, and just have fun, have a lot of Disney experience, and like to share a lot of stories and talk about different things. So if you're into that thing, definitely subscribe, much appreciated, and hopefully we'll see you here again in the future. Wendy, have November reservations, but back updates for next April to May 2021. Hopefully things will work out, but that April-May reservation might be looking a little better here now than what's going on, unfortunately, than November. Dale, I don't mind Splash Mountain change, just don't want it to be down a long time. The more I've actually looked at that, it seems that they are going to leave Splash Mountain up for quite a while, for people to come in and enjoy their last moments, their last rides. It may even be open through the 50th anniversary. Not 100% sure on that, but it does seem like it's going to be open for quite a while. And then they're going to take a look at shutting it down and doing the overlay. As far as it being a long time, I mean, who knows? A full overlay. I can't remember how long Frozen Ever After took, but that I think that ride is a lot smaller than what Splash Mountain is, as far as the overlay that they would have to do. Expedition Greg, yes, you delayed your Tokyo trip till next July. Yeah, I was really bummed for you on that. I know you're really looking forward to Tokyo. Expedition Greg, if you haven't gone over to his channel, definitely subscribe. He goes to parks all over the world. He's been to like every single park that you can go to. Awesome guy. A lot of fun being his friend, and go subscribe to him, especially if you want to see parks all over the world. He is a traveling fool, and just a heck of a guy too. Matthew, maybe they should go ahead and let people take their own risk. The virus spread helps in the long run. At some point, opening will be scary, even if we wait a few more months. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, if you... I don't so much agree with the idea of letting people take their own risk, because then you're putting me at risk as well and my family. Unfortunately, we live in a society to where I think you have to be in these kind of situations, and this is where the big debate comes in, and I don't want to make this political at all. I think you have to be told this is what you have to do in order to be safe. And I'm sorry, you may like it, you may not like it, but in order to keep everyone safe around, for all those reasons, this is what you have to do. And wearing a mask is part of that. So giving the people the opportunity of the choice, I think a majority of the people will choose to stay safe and do things correctly. But then there's other people out there who find no need for that, or find that it's not warranted in any way. And again, that's the country we live in. It's a beautiful thing to have those things, but at some point it kind of comes down to, if you're jeopardizing other people's safety, if you're jeopardizing my safety, my family, then 100%, I'm all for this is what you have to do in order not to do that, or to help prevent that in some way, shape, or form. We to Disney and Beyond, $25 super chat. Thank you so much. That is amazing. Very, very generous of you. I appreciate that. Really, really helps to, keep things going here. And especially in these times, it's, difficult for everyone, and anyone who makes any sort of a donation, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's, everybody's tight on money and everything. So to make any sort of a donation is wonderful. But it really does help. We're all in the same boat together. We're all trying to get by during this, and definitely when the parks are closed and things are closed, the world is what it is. It's hard for everyone. It's hard for what I do and what other people do in general. So thank you so much. It's very generous, and to everyone who super chatted, very generous. I always feel like really humbled and almost kind of weird about it. Like, I don't know. It's much appreciated, but it's hard to see that. I just have fun doing this. You guys know that. So definitely not in it for the money, but it does help. It does help to have a little support to keep on doing this. And there's a lot that goes into, doing these kind of things, and the time and, software and equipment and stuff like that. I had to go out and buy stuff to actually do these live streams at home. I had to buy software to get into the computer and hook up the camera and the microphone and do all these kind of things. So I never really live streamed at home before. So, you invest in that kind of stuff. And I would do it anyways because I'm a techie guy and I love this kind of stuff. But, anything always helps. Subscribing here, watching the videos always is a big plus as well. So much appreciated. Let's see. CT, I'm so excited. Just booked a vacation at Walt Disney World for my daughter's 5th birthday. That is awesome. Happy birthday to your daughter. We decided to cancel other travel plans this year and do it big at Walt Disney World. I have some issue with the Safari browser, but was able... I think you went on somewhere here. Maybe not. I'm assuming you were able to get what you needed done. So you used the Safari browser and had a little bit of issue, but seemed to do well. I was using Google Chrome. I'm a big Google guy, so not sure what the different browsers had. I know Microsoft Edge, I had logged on as well to check that out. It seemed to be working fine on Microsoft Edge. Sounds like you said Safari might have had a little bit of issue, but Google Chrome usually works like a champ. Minecraft builds, I would give you money, but I've been out of work and limited in money. Plus, I'm the UK pounds, not dollars. Please, by all means, do not feel obligated at all. And again, I feel really weird about that, and you can kind of see I get a little weird about it. But no, we are all in this situation for sure. Please do not put yourself out in any way. I don't expect anything ever, and it's just much appreciated. Anytime anybody does do that, it's very much appreciated. But for sure, just you being here and again, subscribing and watching the videos is helpful just in itself. It really is. And going to passporttotheparks.com, just all those kind of things is really helpful. So we to Disney and Beyond. Philip, I appreciate you sharing Disney with us. Absolutely. Philip, maybe I missed your conversation up here. I do apologize. A lot of these comments are jumping by me here. Cape 6, I've easily spent 52 weeks of my life in Disney World At age of 27, I learned, see something new about the parks and resorts with every visit. Plus, having a countdown until my next visit makes me happy. See, there you go. The more experience you get and the more people you talk to, it just makes for a better experience, I think, when you come to Disney. And I really appreciate that. So, hey, Kevin and Teresa, thank you so much. $10 super chat. Thank you, Rob, for the information. Looking forward, hopefully, to being in Florida this winter. I am looking forward to that as well. I think it's awesome that you're going to come down here. Kind of the snowbird thing, I guess, and definitely looking forward to hanging out with you a little bit when you come. I love Disney people. I love having Disney friends and people who, get geeked and excited about this as much as I do. And, to have the opportunity to hang out with, you guys in the chat and, people I've made friends with through here. It's just an awesome, awesome thing. And I really do appreciate that. So we too, Disney and beyond. Hopefully a vaccine will be approved by the end of the year to help control this better. Whoa, bouncing everything around here. Fingers crossed that they do come up with some sort of a vaccine. Props to all the medical professionals out there and what they do, the doctors and the scientists who are trying to come up with solutions for this. My wife is an RN, and she goes to work at the hospital and, puts herself in these situations as well. And, I love her for that. And, anyone in the medical profession, my hat off to you, especially for what you're doing right now. I always, anytime I see military, retired veterans and things like that, I always like to, thank them or shake their hand or, did shake their hand. And now, medical personnel as well. It's the same thing, going out there and putting your life on the line to try to help people. It's just an amazing thing, and we should all be very, very thankful for that. Expedition Greg, we are absolutely all in this together. Minecraft builds, it can't be helped, but no, given how things are right now, I'm lucky to still have a job. Absolutely, my friend, and I wish you all the best for sure. Let's see, Steve. Okay, you are doing much better than I am. Steve, my wife works, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, everybody's having definitely some issues through this, and my heart goes out to everybody. We have our struggles, and I know everybody out there does. It's just we have to find a way to figure this out. And again, this is what makes it so difficult. You want to get things going, you want to have life get back to normal, and you want to be safe, and you want to slow things down, but you don't want to slow things down. It'll make your head explode. But it's just something that we have to figure out as a world or a society, or it's just going to get worse and worse. We might have to suffer for a while and suffer more than we actually are now in order to get through this. We've made it through world wars, we've made it through depressions and all kinds of horrible things in the country, and we always come together and we always find a way to fight things as a society and figure things out together. And it's the same thing we have to do here, but we all have to get on the same page and believe in something, and not be so divided. Things have just become so crazy and political, and it's the simple fact of just looking it in the face and saying this is a world issue. This is a health issue. This is your family and my family and my children and your children. This has nothing to do with politics. I wish the politicians would just stay the heck out of it and just let the people who should be dealing with this deal with it. If I hear another stupid politician tell me that things are all right or things are horrible, or just stay away. Just go do your stupid things that don't mean anything in our society, and let the people who care about things and are actually going to get things done and want to make a difference in the world actually do those things. And whatever, it's just political is just, I don't even want to get into political stuff. That's why I don't like dealing with political issues here, and I don't want it to turn into those kind of things. It's just politics should just stay out of, especially something like this. It's just a disgusting situation when things become as political as they have on both sides of of the aisle, no matter where you're at or where your views lie. It's just an awful situation to be in when things have become the way they are. Car Key Rob, thank you, or thank my wife for you guys. Yes, absolutely, I will. She usually watches these. She might be watching now. She was out hanging out in the pool today. So hopefully she's getting some sun and enjoying herself out there. Steve, the politics of it all is depressing. Absolutely. It's just drives me crazy. Minecraft builds. I'm going nuts being stuck indoors. I've got things to do. So hopefully I'll be behind the wheel of the bus again soon. That would be awesome. I hope you are too. Dan, I wish the politicians would all go away. I think we can all probably agree on that. This is a wonderful channel. We won't let politics in. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that. Greg, politics are just drama. Davey Crocketeer says good commentary. Yeah, if we're going to agree on anything, even if we don't agree on what's right and what's wrong for things to do in the world, I think we can all agree that politicians are usually pretty slimy and that we all get a bad taste in our mouth, no matter where we stand, as far left or right or in the center or however you want to describe it. It's just all scummy. It's like the floats on the top of the pond, and the fish come up and they eat that scum. That's usually kind of how I feel when I listen to the news or things on TV and listening to politicians with their slimy hands, and yeah. So yeah, that's fun. Hey, Lori, I really enjoyed your home live streams. You are always interesting to listen to. God bless you and your wife and your daughter. Thank you so much, Lori. God bless you as well. I always love having you here. Appreciate it. G. Wilson, politics is one reason I do not participate in social media. Yeah. Oh, gee, social media. Don't get that thing going. In fact, I think on my Facebook, it just automatically turns into this too. The coronavirus thing. It automatically just starts leaning, and you can go through and you can re-comment. You read this on anything you go to. Sooner or later, it's going to lean towards beliefs, and it's going to lean towards comments, and what you hear one person say or what you hear another person say. You have to make your own decisions, and I think you should make decisions based on what's best for you and your family, not what somebody standing on a podium tells you what they think is best. We're all adults, and we need to make good decisions for ourselves and what's best for our family, because in the long run, nobody's going to be there for you or your family except for you. And that's what as a society, that's the only way we get through things. When I say something happens at my house or I need help, putting boards up on my window, that's a good, during the hurricane, I don't see the government coming around and helping me put boards up and help save my house during a hurricane. But I do know that I can rely on, my very close friend to come over here and help me, because we have a relationship and it's family to family. I would protect his family, he would protect my family, and that's what we rely on. And that's the only way that things are going to get done. The politicians aren't going to go out there and solve this for us, for sure. They're out there to make a buck. Your neighbor is going to help you solve it. The person who is doing the right thing and trying to keep you and your family safe, and vice versa. Ultimately, that is how things are going to get solved in society, as we come together as a people and try to deal with situations. And we do that as a Disney community too. We're obviously here talking about what's important to us for Disney. We all have our own opinions. We have our own opinions on, should the parks open? Should we wear masks? What kind of food should we eat? Where should we stay? What rides do we like? But that's what makes things great. And we can learn from each other, and we can, we could figure out what we like, or if there's something we don't like, maybe somebody else gives us a better opinion or guides us in a way that maybe we start liking something that maybe we didn't in the past, or we're having an issue with something. People were talking, they were having issues trying to call Disney earlier today, and people in the comments, well, hey, I did this, and this is who you call, and this is where you get through. This was my experience, and that's the only true way that you advance yourself in life, is to have other people around you and have a support system and have just awesome people to help. And that's what I appreciate about all you guys out here. So, again, I always get going on these tangents. I feel like Moses up on the mountain talking or preaching, but I don't want to come across like that. Hopefully it doesn't come across preachy. I'm just trying to come across as just like a human being with a bunch of friends here and having good conversations, and throwing a couple pictures in every now and then, or some videos. But this is what we have to do until we can actually get back into the parks and be safe. This is what we do. We talk to each other, and it's a lot of fun. Steve, Rob, which store did you get your Disney art from? On the wall behind me. These actually, and my office is just coated, and I promise you, I am going to do that at my office tour. But the ones actually behind me are the Masterpiece Collection, and you can only get these. I got these back in the 90s, back when you would buy the VHS clamshell tapes, the Masterpiece Collection or the Black Diamond collections. You would go into the Disney store and you could pre-order your movie. So say like Mulan right behind me here. So I pre-ordered Mulan, and in doing so at the Disney store, you would also get this the animated cell that would come with it, and it comes in a really beautiful, colorful envelope with Mulan on it. And then you would get the the print behind you, and all these different prints. There's a bunch of them. It's hard for me to tip up my camera. It's on a tripod, but I have like 30 of them on the wall. They go like way up here. And I have like all the animated classics up there, and they're beautiful prints, but you can only get those if you pre-ordered the movies. It's like Disney used to be really cool with that stuff. Now you go and you get like a Blu-ray or DVD or whatever, and you don't get anything. But like before, it was so cool. You can go into the Disney store and you pre-order these movies and you get this, or like watches. Like I have a whole box of the Disney watches that you would get if you'd pre-order movies. And a lot of this stuff is just collectors stuff from the old Disney clubs that I used to be in, the Masterpiece Club. The Disney store used to have different collectors clubs and stuff like that, and a lot of like one-of-a-kind pieces that you just can't find anymore, you can't buy. I got a lot of castles from Disney, like back through the years and all that. I have the cake castle, actually. In fact, I'll show you that one. Give me 1 second, okay? All right, so I don't know how in focus this will be, but take a look at that. Isn't that cool? That is the 25th anniversary castle cake. So there's the beautiful Pepto-Bismol cake that everybody has their opinions about, but that is like one of my favorite things that I have. Got this back in the 25th anniversary, and I have all these kind of castles, like different variations of it. Beauty and the Beast Castle and Sleeping Beauty Castle and all that, but this is the official 25th 25 magical years, it says there. I can't get it too close to the camera, it gets too out of focus. So, but it has the little 25 on the front and everything, and that was a great time. 25th anniversary back in the 90s. But yeah, I got on another thing there about the stuff that I collect, but that's a whole nother deal for all the stuff that I've collected through the years. 2G's better half. I like the movie Bad News Bears. Let them play in the parks case. Let them open. Oh, excuse me. I like the movie Bad News Bears. That's like one of my favorite movies too. The original Bad News Bears, the old Bad News Bears. Steve, oh man, 30. You're jealous. Excuse me. Being rude here. Steve, I bet it's worth a lot. I don't know. I never really looked these up online to see what they're going for. I don't know. It doesn't matter what the worth of things are. They bring more worth to me. And again, everything. This is what's great about collecting Disney stuff. Is, you know, I love the experience that comes with it. So everything, you know, you have a story for everything. I got this here, or I was doing this here, or like even with these, you know, I know that I got all these at the Disney store. And I remember, you know, they would announce, hey, you know, the Peter Pan is going to get released on video, and it's coming out of the vault. And I remember it was like this big thing. I would go to the Disney store, and it was, you know, you make the trip to the Disney store, you go in, you do your pre-order. And it was like, oh, the day, like, I think it was like the day before it would come out, you would be able to go to the Disney store and pick up the movie. It was like this big deal. I remember you could take the movie home, you get that beautiful print that came with it, or the watch, or whatever gift it was at the time. And it was like a big deal to like go out and get this. Now it's just like, a lot of people even just get the digital movies anymore. You know, I can't stand just getting something digital on the computer or whatever. I like to have the physical product that goes with it, like a case for something, or, you know, a picture of something, or something, just a memory of a memory, you know. I don't know if that makes sense for the rest of you guys there. So let's see, trying to catch up a little bit here. Resort budgeting, show of hands, who does like the castle cake? Yeah, who appreciated the castle cake? Who saw it? Who liked it? Who didn't like it? I loved it. I love the castle cake, and now they've repainted the castle like a weird pinkish color, and that the bright blue. I'm a fan of the blue, but I'm not too sure I'm sold on the coloring of the castle itself, the pink. You know, this was just amazing. And when you actually walked up and you saw this, you know, when you walked down Main Street and just the colorful candies on it, you know, they had the lightsabers and the gummies and the gumdrops and everything all over the castle, and it was just it was really, really just a fun thing to see. So I'll have to wait and see what the new castle looks like. Dragon Gaming likes it, so that's cool. Let's see. Yes, oh, Jance, do you have this one too? Do you actually have that castle? That is awesome if you have that. Thumbs up to you. Yeah, Kevin and Teresa, that was 96, was the 25th anniversary. Minecraft builds, not trying to sound pushy, but it's just annoying. NHS Works are getting money off. It's not just annoying. I love that castle. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't quite understand the comment very much there, but and I would love that castle. I'm not too clear on what you're trying to say there. I do apologize. Sometimes I don't get it registered in my head, but I'm glad you like the castle. Philip, I saw it was awesome. We Too Disney and Beyond. Can't wait to see how the new paint job looks on the castle. Yeah, I'm going to reserve judgment again until I get there and actually physically see it. You know, it might look different in different lightings and sunlight and all that, but from the pictures that I've seen of it so far, I don't know if I'm a huge fan as of yet. But we'll see. I'm not going to make a huge judgment there. Brian Disney fan, the 25th was my first visit to Disney World. I was 17 years old. Very, very cool. 1979 was my first visit. I went with my parents and stayed. In fact, I'm going to show this to you guys. Check this out. I don't know if you can see that or not. That picture right there, that is me in 1979 at Fort Wilderness feeding the Disney ducks. You can see the campground is behind me there, and that's me in my awesome 70s Brady Bunch outfit. feeding the Disney ducks. So that was my first trip. I remember it pretty well. I did the Hoop-Dee-Doo review when I was there. First time I ever did the Hoop-Dee-Doo review, and that was awesome. I lost a tooth eating corn on the cob. 2G's better half. Gotta go, stay safe. Always show kindness to one another. Thank you so much for being here, 2G's. You had some great conversation with us, and I do appreciate that. Car Key, we have a limited space for souvenirs. We opt for Christmas ornaments. That's cool too. I mean, if you have something that really makes you happy, then I think that's great. So Christmas ornaments are wonderful as well. I love taking them out each year and thinking about our trips to Disney and Discovery Cove. I have this is actually a Christmas ornament, but it doesn't have the string on it anymore, and I think it just looks like a nice little decorative piece for Peter Pan coming out the window. So you wouldn't even really know it's a Christmas ornament. I just use it as just something that I think is awesome, and it's Peter Pan, so that's cool. So I just have him hang out there on my shelf. Karki, your first trip was in 73. Wow. Yeah, that's before me. Mine was 79, so. Michael, your first trip was in 73 as well. Very, very cool. It's a couple years after it opened. Steve, oh, wow, that's great. You have the picture as a kid at Disney. I've been trying to locate a VHS movie of my family at Epcot, but so far nothing. Yeah, especially coming from the 70s. I mean, to have anything like any kind of video or something back from the 70s is really a big deal. That's like one of the the only pictures that I have really that I've found of being there, but it's just, you know, it kind of puts me in that memory. I remember doing that. I remember feeding those ducks, and we all love the Disney ducks. I still spot them all over the Disney parks, and they're always a lot of fun. So Minecraft Builds Bed Knobs and Broomsticks is so good with all the delete parts. It puts where we go here. They won't put it a Blu-ray, but they put it in the film. I only got the VHS special. I love Bed Knobs and Broomsticks too. That's like one of my favorite Disney movies for sure. Lori, I have that one. Very, very cool. The castle. Talking about the castle. Janice, Disney 1974. My first trip to Walt Disney World was my honeymoon in 1974. My first trip to Disneyland was in 57. Wow. Then you are really a Disney legend there. So you got to go to Disneyland in 57. That's pretty amazing. That's very cool. Creole Heaven. Hey, how are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here very much. Resort budgeting. We had a green Apache pop-up camper. Always stayed at Yogi Bear Campground. I think where Walmart is off of I-4. I've heard about that Yogi Bear. Some other people had said that they've stayed at Yogi Bear as well. Maybe it was you that told me that as well along the way, but I've heard about that Yogi Bear Campground. Minecraft Builds, mine was 2012. I want to go back once things are back to normal. T. Wilson, my first trip was in 82. My uncle had a 8mm camera to record it, so that's how old I am. JW Dasso, we joined DVC in 96 and have received many nice gifts from Disney, backpacks, pictures, drawings. Our first trip to Disney World was in 87. I remember seeing the Swan and Dolphin construction. That's pretty cool. I'm all about construction. But yeah, all those little gifts you get from the clubs and stuff that you get in, it's hard to find stuff that you just really can't go out and buy. I love having those kind of things. Just even weird stuff laying around. What do I got laying on my desk here? This is the Disney Resort Guest Answer Book, Things to Know Before You Go. And this was back... This is like Pleasure Island is in here. I think this was like 25th anniversary era as well. But just cool stuff. It's got the fold out maps. You know, the different parks. Or actually is what's in here? Oh, Animal Kingdom is here. So this would have been after 98 at least. But this is Animal Kingdom without Everest. Is Everest on here? Okay, so no Everest. Yeah, Everest would be over here. I don't know if you can see that very well. So this would have been probably 98-ish before they did Everest. So I think 99 is when Asia officially opened up with Everest over there. But, you know, any kind of just cool stuff that you can collect along the way, I'm into. Just a weird Disney nut. So outside of that, we are going up on about 2 hours here, and I'm going to go spend a little bit of time with my family because I miss them. And but I do appreciate my Disney family here as well, and always love you guys being here. Again, thank you so much for the super chats. Very, very generous. Really means a lot. Just go visit passporttotheparks.com. You can always support there, and subscribe on YouTube if you haven't done that. Hit the bell icon so you can get notified when I do the live streams, and eventually once we get back into the parks, if they don't delay the parks. I will go. I'm going to take many, many precautions and just kind of go do my thing and just, you know, try to get out as best as possible. And hopefully Disney will make some changes with this reservation system and allow, you know, for some more opportunities for especially pass holders to get some more reservations. It's kind of a bummer. As nervous as I am about going, I do still want to go. You know, I want to go to the parks. I want to have fun, and I want to be able to get reservations, and I don't want to pay, you know, huge amounts of money for my annual pass and be able to go 3 times over the next year. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. We will definitely have more discussions as things happen with Disney. We'll jump on live and we'll have a lot of fun together. I always appreciate you guys. Awesome comments. Keep commenting after the video's done. Go to Facebook again. You can comment on that stuff there. I'll throw some more stuff up on there, and we'll just have a lot of fun. Until the next time, you guys have a wonderful day, and I